Good morning, everybody. Doug and Diane here. Well, Doug here. Diane's right over here, so she's with me as well. We've been, you know, considering some things yesterday, prayerfully considering some things, speaking with a few people from the church, some leadership from the church, as well as several people who attend, obviously. But sorry that we couldn't reach out and call everybody. But I wanted to share with you something that we've decided to do that is not. It's a very, very difficult decision. But I think good leadership makes tough decisions in times when they're needed. No question about it. I wanted to share with you something about Sunday morning, and that is I asked God for a word on this, and He gave it to me, and it is a word from God. I want to tell you that. I don't want to say that God told me, because I did not hear the audible voice of God, but I feel like that the Holy Spirit and the Lord has impressed upon me that we not have church Sunday morning at Donovan Elementary School. This isn't, it doesn't mean that we're not having church. We're gathering online, and we will gather online Sunday morning, and we will worship together, and we'll have church together. We'll find a way to interact a little bit more together. But given some of the things and some of the reasons I'm going to give you here in a moment is how we came to this and prayed over it, and did seek wise counsel on it as well, and some wise counsel outside of our church on that as well. But I did ask God for a word on it. And, one of the things that, you hear, you have pastors and leaders who posture themselves and say, I'm not going to be afraid. I'm not going to do something. I'm not going to be afraid of this. I'm not going to be afraid of COVID. And God really gave me a word on it. It's not about being afraid. It's about being cautious. And I think, in fact, I know that being cautious and being fearful, they're not the same thing. An example would be I can decide to go out in front of this hotel out here and run across the street and not look. I'm not going to live in fear. Or I can be cautious and I can look both ways and find the right opportunity to cross the street. There's a difference in that. And I think being cautious is very prudent. It's very smart. And I also want to emphasize with everyone, I don't feel any pressure whatsoever from our governor, from local government, from any health officials to not have church. I feel no pressure in that at all, and neither should you, because our governor and the orders have exempted all religious gatherings. So I don't think this is out of any tyranny or heavy rule or somebody taking something away from us. It's not that at all. I will tell you, there's some states that are living that way. Diane and I are getting ready to travel to Maryland today to do the wedding for Josh and Ruby. You can pray for them, by the way. Their wedding venue got canceled. The mayor of Baltimore said no gatherings greater than 10. It's an order. There's a number of things that have been laid down that they are not allowed to do. They are issuing fines, but pray for Josh and Ruby. They lost a lot of money. Their wedding is very small. I will be wearing a mask. So, you have those things, but there's freedoms that we have, I think, especially in Ohio, that some other states don't have. And we can have that freedom debate another day. But I just wanted to emphasize that it's not anybody telling us what we can't do. It's really out. It's not even an overabundance of caution. It is truly being cautious for what is going on around us. I want to share with you a couple of verses. One is Philippians 4:6. Do not be anxious about anything. And you might stop there and say, well, sounds like you're being anxious. No, I'm really not. I'm not anxious about COVID. I'm not afraid of it. I do get concerned that I would pass it along to somebody. But what that verse goes on to say, but in everything by prayer and supplication, and with thanksgiving, let your requests be made known to God. And I did that. And I really feel like this word of caution is what I received from the Lord. There's another verse, Proverbs 22:3, which I think applies even a little bit more. This jumped out at me when I was reading today. The prudent sees danger and hides himself, but the simple go on and suffer for it. This would really be different. I was talking with someone last night. They said we would have an issue with canceling church if the government was telling us we weren't allowed. And I get that. And we have some states that are, like California, that are in the midst of that right now. But no one is telling us that. There are things that we have to do. We've got to go to work. We've got to go get food. We've got to earn a living. We've got to provide for our families. But there are some things that we can do differently, and one of those is gathering this Sunday for church. So I think it's important that we understand that. This is a struggle. I get concerned. Everybody gets concerned a little bit about what people think about the decisions that they make. I get concerned that if we have church, there's some people that can't come and some people that may see us as reckless. I get concerned that if we don't have church, that there's disappointment. We want to get together. We want to gather. We're supposed to, but we're just going to have to do it differently at the time. And I don't want people to see us as fearful. So that's where I continue to go back to that word of being cautious. The other point is that we have, I'm going to go low here. I'm being really conservative. This is the lowest number. We have 12 to 15 people currently in our church that have been directly exposed to COVID, or may have COVID, may get tested the next few days. That's a big number in a church where we had 53 the last time we got together at Donovan Elementary School. And by the way, this is 12 to 15 people that regularly attend. There's more people than that attend occasionally that have COVID or have been exposed. So again, it's about being cautious. Here's some things we can do. We can worship online. 100%, we can worship online. Number 2 is that we can remain connected. It's important that we call one another. It's important that we text one another. It's important that we write one another cards. We be an encouragement. I actually think it's important for those of you that take part in it to be on social media and to be positive in that and share the word of the Lord. I think it's important that we can be cautious without being fearful. I'm not afraid of this, but I think there is a moment of pause and a moment of caution. Here's some things that I need from you, and I'm going to be very direct to the church on some things that Diane and I think the Lord needs from you. Number 1, gather and watch. Don't take a pass on this. I want to see the highest number of devices tuned in Sunday morning that we've ever had. I want it to be live. I want you to join us live if there's any way that you can. There's some of you that will watch this video and you work on Sunday morning, and I get that. You got to watch it later. But I want you to watch this live if at all possible. Is it going to be something more extraordinary than another time? I don't know the answer to that, but I can tell you this, is that that's a sense that we gather together and we have little chat sessions off to the side. Number 2, so gather and watch. Number 2 is invite a friend to watch with you. Think on this. You're going to get a link to the worship service sometime tomorrow morning, tomorrow afternoon. You're going to get a link to the worship service. You can invite someone that you've never invited before, a friend, a family member. Many of you have family members that don't go to church anywhere. Why don't you reach out to them and share with them, our church is online only Sunday morning. Why don't you watch with me? Send them a text during the worship service. Let them know you're thinking about them, praying for them, or a neighbor or a friend or a colleague, someone you work with. I think this is a great opportunity to invite people to watch along with you. You have my commitment that I am going to invite 10 people that are not a part of G3 Community Church. I'm going to send that link to 10 people that I've not invited to church before and ask them to watch along with us. So gather and watch, invite friends, family members, and colleagues to watch along with us. Number 3, we need you to give. The mission of the church marches on. We are out here doing some wonderful things. It does take money to do those things. We have bills to pay. This is not out of some concern that Diane and I aren't going to get paid or anything like that. We need our offerings to stay above budget, ramp above budget, get ready for 2021. You may be someone who normally would bring your offering tomorrow to church and drop it in. You write a check, you drop it in, or you put the cash in the envelope, whatever you decide to do. We need you to mail that in or let us know if you would like for someone to pick that up. Someone will come and pick that up from you, or you can mail it in. If you don't know how to do that, it's on our website, g3communitychurch.com. I'm not normally too emphatic about finances, but we can't let up on our giving. The church and our mission marches on, and we are out here doing some wonderful things for the kingdom. So please continue to do that. Number 4, and probably the most important, is to pray for myself, pray for Diane, pray for our church, pray for those that are hurting. We had a wonderful Zoom call Wednesday night. If you've not been a part of those, if you feel that you feel a little trapped at home or feel like you need to gather, get on those Wednesday night calls. They've really been good. We share a number of prayer requests and a devotion as well. Well, I want you to know that there's a lot that we can do, and there's a lot that we can do differently. This is we want to be cautious, not fearful, but cautious. We love you, and I know that there's no way that everybody agrees with this decision that we're making. But again, it wasn't in a vacuum. I've talked with several people. Um, you know, even talked here just a few moments ago with someone who confirms the number of cases in Warren County and specifically in Lebanon, they are rising. There's a lot of exposure. Even to use the term someone used, a super bug. This is a tough thing that we're going through. So even just in regards to church, we want to be cautious, but then in other areas of your life, be cautious, be careful. You don't need to be afraid. But as you get that link, invite somebody to church Sunday morning. Diane and I will be excited to see you online. Thank you for your support. Continue to pray for us. We'll be on the road for a while. Give us about 10 minutes. We're going to be heading out on the road. Well, I don't know when this will get posted, but give us about 10 minutes. We'll be on the road today beginning about 9:30 in the morning. Call us if you have any questions or if you just want to chat. We appreciate you guys and we love you. Thanks a lot. Have a great day.